The city skyline shimmered under the golden sunset as Olivia Harper and Venessa Sterling sat at their favorite rooftop lounge, sipping wine, laughter filling the air. They were the epitome of success: Olivia, a renowned corporate lawyer feared in the courtroom, and Venessa, a high-profile fashion mogul whose brand was celebrated worldwide. More than friends, they were sisters by heart, inseparable for years. Their journey together had been nothing short of an adventure. From college roommates to business partners in their early days, they had fought side by side through challenges that most would have crumbled under. Late-night study sessions turned into late-night strategy meetings as they built their respective careers. They traveled the world together, explored the most exotic destinations, and created memories that would last a lifetime. There was the time they got lost in the streets of Paris after an impromptu weekend getaway, ending up in a small, charming bistro where they laughed over wine and escargot. Or their adrenaline-filled skydiving experience in Dubai, where Venessa's parachute initially failed to deploy, leaving Olivia screaming at the top of her lungs before it finally opened at the last moment. They had lived boldly, fully, always with each other at the center of their world. Yet, beneath their perfect lives lay a shared void. Love had always eluded them. Men admired them from afar but never stayed long enough to break through their walls. "I just wonder if love was ever meant for us," Olivia sighed, staring at the city lights. Venessa chuckled, tucking her wavy hair behind her ear. "Who needs love when we have each other?" They clinked their glasses, unaware that their greatest test was about to unfold. Enter Liam Carter, wealthy, charismatic, dangerously handsome. A billionaire entrepreneur who exuded power and confidence. He entered their world like a storm, leaving hearts fluttering in his wake. From the moment Olivia met Liam at a charity gala, sparks flew. He was drawn to her sharp mind, her poise, her effortless charm. Venessa saw it too, the undeniable chemistry, the way Liam only had eyes for Olivia. At first, she played the supportive best friend, teasing Olivia about her newfound romance. But soon, admiration turned into something much darker. Venessa had never been second to Olivia in anything. They had built their empires side by side, always equals. But now she was invisible. The more Liam and Olivia fell for each other, the more Venessa felt like she was fading into the background, a mere spectator in the life she once shared equally with her best friend. Olivia and Liam's romance blossomed rapidly, and with each passing day, it became more evident that they were meant for each other. Liam was devoted, showering Olivia with grand romantic gestures that left Venessa gritting her teeth behind forced smiles. One evening, at an exclusive gala, Liam twirled Olivia across the dance floor under the glow of a massive chandelier. His gaze never left hers, their chemistry so electric that even strangers whispered in admiration. Venessa watched from the sidelines, her champagne glass trembling in her grip. Another time, Liam surprised Olivia with a spontaneous trip to Santorini. Venessa had been present when he made the announcement, expecting Olivia to hesitate, but instead, she had thrown her arms around Liam, pressing a deep, passionate kiss to his lips in front of everyone, including Venessa. The breaking point came at an intimate dinner party. Liam, ever the gentleman, had brushed a loose strand of hair from Olivia's face and whispered something that made her blush. Venessa clenched her fists under the table as jealousy boiled within her. Why her? Why not me? That night, as she scrolled through pictures of Olivia and Liam together, laughing, holding hands, looking perfect, something inside her snapped. She wanted him, and if Olivia was in the way, then Olivia had to go. Venessa knew people, dangerous people, people who didn't ask questions, only took payment. Under the cover of darkness, she met with a cold-blooded assassin. A single job, a single shot. Olivia Harper had to disappear. "You're sure about this?" the man asked, his voice devoid of emotion. Venessa hesitated only for a moment before nodding. "I want it done clean. No traces." As she walked away, she felt a thrill she couldn't quite explain. For the first time in weeks, she felt in control again. It was supposed to be a simple evening. Olivia was heading home after dinner with Liam when a single gunshot rang through the air. The bullet struck her in the chest. She collapsed onto the pavement, gasping, pain searing through her body. Darkness closed in, but just before unconsciousness took her, she saw a shadowy figure retreat into the night. Olivia should have died that night. The shot was meant to be fatal, but by some miracle, she survived. The bullet missed her heart by inches. As she lay in the hospital, weak but alive, Detective Ethan Monroe led the investigation. Security footage, bank transactions, a trail Venessa never expected to leave behind. Within days, the truth surfaced. Venessa Sterling, Olivia's best friend, her sister, was the mastermind behind the attack. The police stormed Venessa's penthouse, finding her mid-toast, celebrating what she thought was a closed chapter. She barely had time to react before cold steel cuffs clamped around her wrists. "You have the right to remain silent." The officer's voice was distant, muffled by the pounding in her ears. Hours later, in the interrogation room, Venessa sat in silence, staring at the one person she never thought she'd face this way, Olivia. Her once best friend, now a ghost of the woman she tried to destroy, stared at her through the glass with unreadable eyes. "Why?" Olivia's voice was quiet but laced with devastation. Venessa exhaled, her mask of arrogance slipping. What was left to hide now? She lowered her head. "Because I loved him, and he loved you." The confession sent a ripple through the room. The betrayal was now undeniable. Despite all her skills as a lawyer, Olivia did not lift a finger to defend Venessa. She did not plead for leniency, did not try to understand. Some betrayals could never be forgiven. The trial was swift. The evidence was overwhelming. Venessa was convicted of attempted murder. As the judge delivered the verdict, Olivia sat in the courtroom, watching the woman who once meant everything to her be led away in chains. They locked eyes one last time. This time, there was no warmth, only cold, hollow hatred. Weeks later, Olivia tried to move forward. Liam stood by her, supportive and loving. Yet she felt an emptiness inside her that even he couldn't fill. One evening, as she walked into her office, a single white envelope lay on her desk. No sender, no address. She picked it up, heart pounding, and slid it open. Inside, a single note. "It's not over." Olivia's breath caught in her throat. Her fingers trembled. From behind prison bars, Venessa was still playing the game. Venessa's temporary release on bail was a move Olivia had anticipated but never imagined would lead to her vanishing without a trace. As soon as she was freed, Venessa slipped into the shadows, evading all attempts by Olivia and the authorities to track her down. It was as if she had disappeared off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, Olivia, still recovering from the harrowing attack, found solace in Liam's unwavering love. Determined to leave the nightmares behind, they decided to move forward with their wedding plans. The day of the wedding was nothing short of magical, until it turned into a living nightmare. Olivia, adorned in an elegant ivory gown, stood across from Liam at the altar, gazing into his adoring eyes as they prepared to exchange vows. The guests watched with admiration, a moment of pure bliss suspended in time. Then the unimaginable happened. A gunshot rang through the grand cathedral, shattering the serene moment into chaos. Liam's body jerked violently as blood splattered onto Olivia's pristine dress. His knees buckled, and he collapsed onto the marble floor, his hand reaching out for Olivia's as his breath faltered. Screams erupted, and guests scattered in panic, ducking for cover. In the midst of the chaos, Olivia's eyes darted toward the source of the gunfire. Standing near the entrance, draped in black, her eyes ablaze with vengeance, was Venessa. She held the smoking gun firmly in her grip, her face void of any remorse. "Liam!" Olivia shrieked, falling to her knees beside him, pressing her trembling hands against his chest, desperate to stop the bleeding. His lips quivered, his gaze softening as he fought for breath. "Olivia, I love you." His hand went limp in hers. "No, no, no, no," she sobbed, shaking him, refusing to accept the cruel reality. By the time the authorities arrived, Venessa had vanished, again. It was as though she had never been there, leaving behind only the wreckage of her vengeance. Olivia's sorrow burned into seething rage. She was no longer the heartbroken fiancé. She was a seasoned lawyer, armed with the full weight of the law and an insatiable hunger for justice. Venessa had taken everything from her, and Olivia vowed that she would make her pay, no matter what it took. But Venessa was not an easy target. She was cunning, always one step ahead, using Olivia's vulnerabilities against her. Every lead Olivia chased dissolved into thin air. Every informant she sought mysteriously disappeared. It was as if Venessa anticipated every move, manipulating the game from the shadows. Then, one night, Olivia received a package with no return address. Inside was a single blood-stained bullet and a note written in eerie red ink. "Did you think it would be that easy, Olivia? This is far from over. You took something from me, and now I'll take everything from you." One by one, the war had just begun. Here's an extended and more dramatic conclusion for part 3 of your story. The tension in the air was thick as Olivia stood face to face with Venessa. The dimly lit warehouse echoed with the sound of their breathing, the weight of their history pressing between them like an invisible force. Venessa's once carefully composed demeanor had unraveled into raw desperation. Her eyes filled with rage and fear. She had lost control, and she knew it. "You should have stayed out of this, Olivia," Venessa hissed, her voice laced with venom. "You don't know what you've just done." Olivia stood firm, her eyes blazing with defiance. "Oh, I know exactly what I've done. I've exposed you. Your reign of terror ends tonight, Venessa." With a feral scream, Venessa lunged, aiming a sharp dagger at Olivia's chest. But Olivia was ready. Anticipating the attack, she sidestepped with precision, grabbing Venessa's wrist and twisting it sharply. The dagger clattered to the ground as Venessa let out a cry of pain. "You think you're better than me?" Venessa spat, struggling to break free from Olivia's grip. "You're nothing. You were always nothing." Olivia tightened her hold. "No, Venessa. I was just another one of your victims. But not anymore." Venessa's face twisted with fury as she used all her strength to break away, reaching for a nearby metal pipe. Swinging wildly, she barely missed Olivia, who ducked just in time. The battle between them was fierce, years of unresolved animosity manifesting in each strike, each desperate attempt to overpower the other. Just as Venessa raised the pipe again, red and blue lights flooded the warehouse, sirens wailing in the distance. The authorities had arrived. The doors burst open, and officers stormed in, their weapons drawn. "Freeze! Drop your weapon!" Venessa hesitated for a split second, her mind racing for an escape route. But there was none. The walls were closing in on her, the weight of her crimes finally catching up. With one last, desperate attempt, she swung at Olivia again. But Olivia dodged, delivering a swift kick to Venessa's legs, sending her crashing onto the concrete floor. Within moments, officers were on her, restraining her struggling form as she thrashed wildly. "Let me go! You don't understand!" Venessa shrieked, her voice raw with desperation. "I built everything. I made all of this happen. You destroyed lives," Olivia said coldly, watching as the officers secured the handcuffs around Venessa's wrists. "And now, justice will do its part." Venessa continued to scream as she was dragged away, her empire crumbling around her. For so long, she had been untouchable, lurking in the shadows, manipulating, deceiving. But now there was nowhere left to hide. In the days that followed, the case against Venessa unfolded like a storm. The evidence Olivia had gathered was irrefutable, and with each testimony, with each revelation, the world finally saw Venessa for who she truly was, a ruthless, cunning predator who thrived on power and control. The courtroom was packed on the day of the verdict. Olivia sat in the front row, her heart pounding as the judge read the sentence. "Venessa Sinclair, for your crimes of fraud, conspiracy, and multiple counts of attempted murder, this court sentences you to life in prison without the possibility of parole." A hush fell over the room as the weight of the judgment settled. Venessa's face was pale, her once proud, arrogant expression replaced by stunned silence. It was over, As Venessa was escorted out in chains, Olivia exhaled deeply. The war had been long, the battle brutal, but justice had prevailed. The ghosts of the past had been put to rest. Stepping outside into the golden glow of the setting sun, Olivia felt lighter than she had in years. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time, she was ready to walk it without fear. She had won, and Venessa would never hurt anyone again.